safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
Okay. Want to bring in Jason Lee now. You fall for all this. You think they're great heroes and deserve all the awards they're getting, and they're freedom fighters standing up to the oppressive Brits, do you?
Well, I'm not obsessed with them to the point that I'm following every move that they're making, but I have watched the documentary, and so far I love it. And I'm somebody who's black and white, and, you know, I've listened to some of the people on the show today. The guy who started at the top of this segment has just annoyed me. You can tell he probably doesn't have much love in his life. And the woman before the last segment, she was probably a bit oversized and unattractive.
Awesome kids, dude.
Doesn't really sound like she had. Hold on, we already heard what you had to say. Clearly, you're mad that there's black blood in the bloodline for the royal family. But since you want to talk about, if you want to talk about racism in the UK, let's talk about the racism in UK then, because the blood diamonds at Buckingham Palace have not been returned.
I said
you're
nothing
very
about
consumed
racism.
with a man who's in love with a black woman. That's the problem that you have. But this is the deal. I love the fact that Harry. I love that. Wait. I love that Harry. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt.
Hey y'all, a warm welcome to Sussexful. Hi everyone, it's Emma here, your host. Please give a big warm welcome to Sussexful, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to their channel for more amazing content. Oh, and don't forget to share the love, y'all. Go Jason, go. Congratulations Jason Lee for telling the truth to the haters. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. He absolutely brought the fire. As always, when someone speaks the truth, the meltdowns begin. People try to yell and shout over the answers, but Jason would not be silenced. I'm so glad Jason took them all down with just a swing of his pinky. Honestly, if we'd started doing this earlier, we might have repelled the anti-Meghan phenomenon long ago. Go Jason! Let's be clear. A bunch of thieves is exactly what we're looking at. If your next-door neighbor stole from everyone on your street, you'd call them a thief. This is no different. Theft for certain. But let's not forget the murders, the blood spilled to take what was stolen, and the hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children who were murdered. Jason Lee, the warrior against digital bullies. Jason Lee emerged as a formidable voice of reason, cutting through the noise of online harassment with surgical precision, delivering truth bombs that left the perpetual Meghan Markle critics stunned and exposed. His unwavering commitment to calling out the coordinated attacks and fabricated narratives demonstrated that some media personalities are willing to stand up against a relentless tide of malicious storytelling, refusing to let unfounded allegations and character assassinations go unchallenged. By speaking candidly and directly, Lee didn't just defend Meghan. He systematically dismantled the machinery of misinformation, showing how coordinated harassment campaigns operate and revealing the toxic mechanisms behind sustained public bullying. Jason Lee, a voice of truth against harassment. Jason Lee's unwavering stance against the relentless harassment of Meghan Markle is nothing short of heroic. Where others might have cowered or backed down, Lee stood firm, effectively dismantling his critics with precision and passion. His refusal to be silenced, despite attempts to yell and shout him down, marks a pivotal moment in combating the toxic narrative surrounding the Duchess of Sussex. It's honestly frustrating to consider how different the landscape might have been had such a bold, unapologetic approach been adopted earlier in countering the sustained media and personal attacks against Meghan. Lee's courage serves as a powerful reminder that truth has a way of cutting through noise and manipulation, offering a much-needed beacon of support for those who have been systematically targeted and maligned. The dark legacy of colonial theft and violence. The neighbor's accusations of thievery were merely a surface-level revelation of a far more sinister truth. Beyond the simple act of stealing property, these colonial incursions were marked by unprecedented brutality, where theft was intimately intertwined with wholesale slaughter. The land was not just taken through economic means, but through a systematic campaign of violence that decimated entire populations. Hundreds of thousands of innocent men, women, and children were ruthlessly murdered, their lives extinguished to make way for territorial conquest and economic exploitation. This was not merely theft, but a calculated genocidal strategy that transformed landscapes and erased entire societies, leaving behind a bloody legacy that would echo through generations. Jason Lee, unsilenced and unapologetic. Jason Lee stood firm against the coordinated attempts to intimidate and silence him, delivering responses that cut through the noise with surgical precision. Where others might have wavered under the intense pressure of online attacks and manufactured outrage, Lee remained resolute, refusing to be bullied into submission. His unwavering commitment to speaking truth became a powerful weapon, effectively dismantling the narratives designed to discredit him and exposing the underlying motivations of those seeking to manipulate public perception. By maintaining his composure and delivering fact-driven commentary, Lee not only defended his position, but also demonstrated the futility of harassment campaigns aimed at suppressing honest discourse. The triumph of truth really shines when we start challenging those anti-Meghan narratives head-on. If only this direct confrontational approach had been deployed earlier, the toxic anti-Meghan sentiment could have been dismantled much sooner. The power of speaking unvarnished truth in the face of relentless criticism cannot be understated. It serves as a formidable weapon against calculated harassment and deliberate character assassination. By refusing to be silenced and methodically exposing the coordinated efforts to malign Meghan's reputation, advocates like Jason Lee demonstrate the critical importance of standing firm against organized disinformation campaigns. Challenging these narratives not only protects the individual under attack, but also sends a broader message that calculated attempts to destroy someone's public image through sustained malicious actions will be met with fierce, unapologetic resistance. Truth, theft, and neighborhood justice go hand in hand, y'all. In the grand theater of social dynamics, calling out a thief is as natural as breathing, whether that thief resides next door or operates on a grander stage. Just as a neighborhood collectively recognizes and denounces a local criminal who steals from their midst, the same fundamental principle applies to broader contexts of theft and moral transgressions. The act of theft remains inherently wrong, unaltered by the perpetrator's social standing or reputation. A stolen item is stolen, regardless of who commits the act, and those witnessing the transgression have an inherent right and responsibility to name it precisely what it is. Jason Lee's response was nothing short of masterful, wielding truth like a precision instrument against his critics. With what seemed like a mere swing of his pinky, he effortlessly dismantled the attempts to silence him, bringing an intensity and fire that left his detractors stunned. This wasn't just about defending a narrative. It was a powerful stand against those who seek to suppress truth through intimidation and noise. Lee's unwavering commitment demonstrated the critical importance of speaking out, refusing to be drowned out by the cacophony of baseless attacks, and showing that courage and clarity can cut through even the loudest attempts to discredit and diminish. The brutal reality of colonial conquest extended far beyond mere material theft, plunging entire regions into a horrific landscape of systemic murder and unimaginable bloodshed. Theft was never a simple act of taking property, but a calculated strategy of violent subjugation that left entire populations decimated, with hundreds of thousands of lives brutally extinguished across generations. The scope of these crimes defies simple comprehension, representing a calculated and systematic destruction of human life, where men, women, and children were ruthlessly eliminated to facilitate the theft of lands, resources, and cultural identities. The gravity of these atrocities cannot be diminished or overlooked, standing as a stark testament to the profound inhumanity that accompanied colonial expansion and the relentless pursuit of territorial and economic dominance. In an era of constant media manipulation and targeted harassment, speaking truth becomes not just a choice, but a powerful weapon against those seeking to distort narratives. Meghan's journey illustrates how remaining steadfast and unapologetic in one's truth can effectively neutralize malicious attempts to discredit and undermine personal integrity. By refusing to be silenced by coordinated attacks and maintaining a dignified stance, individuals can effectively repel negative sentiment and expose the underlying motivations of those who seek to harm their reputation. The key lies not in engaging with every baseless accusation, but in presenting a clear, consistent narrative that allows truth to shine through the noise of manufactured controversy, a strategy that, had it been employed earlier, might have significantly diminished the sustained campaign of harassment and misinformation. In the face of intense scrutiny and attempts to silence him, Jason Lee remained steadfastly committed to revealing the unvarnished truth. His unwavering stance demonstrated remarkable moral courage, refusing to be intimidated by those who sought to suppress his narrative. Where others might have wavered or retreated under pressure, Lee stood firm, embodying a principled approach to truth-telling that transcended personal risk. His resolute commitment to speaking out, even when confronted with aggressive pushback, showcased not just journalistic integrity, but a profound personal conviction that some stories must be told, regardless of the potential consequences. By maintaining his ground and continuing to speak candidly, Lee transformed potential vulnerability into a powerful statement about journalistic courage and transparency.